Hi, children. Well, Snappy, you have made a beautiful tent for you and your teddy. And I see you have some sandwiches. Now, are you going to share your sandwiches with Duster? Oh dear. Well, let's see where Duster is, shall we? Oh, there's Duster. Oh, being a superhero. Oh, that's very nice, Duster, but that cloak looks very much like part of Snappy's tent. Oh dear, be careful as you go, Duster, be careful as you go. Oh, dear me. Oh, Snappy, your poor tent. It's all in pieces. Oh dear, I think we should go to our story as soon as possible. You see, in this story, Snappy, there's a very big hole in someone's roof. And it will take a little longer to repair than we can take to put your tent back up again. So let's see our Bible people now. Here's Jesus. He's been travelling through the region of Galilee with his disciples. Jesus has been healing and preaching, telling people of his kingdom, and many people have come to him. Now he is going with his disciples to Capernaum. Here he will make a base. Now the news travelled quickly that Jesus was home, and so many people came to hear him preach that there was no room in the house, and there were crowds outside the front door. Now 4 men came, bringing their paralysed friend on his bed to see Jesus. But there was such a large crowd that they just couldn't get to Jesus. In those days, houses would have a flat roof, and very often there were steps or would be a ladder at the side of the house so people could get onto the roof. Now the 4 friends of the paralysed man can't go through the front door, it's just too crowded. But perhaps they could go onto the roof and see Jesus that way. The men worked hard to make a hole big enough to lower their friend through. And so up they go, pulling the paralysed man onto the roof. And clearing away the sticks and the mud from the roof, they made a hole big enough to lower their friend down to meet Jesus. Now Jesus was busy teaching in the house when suddenly bits of the roof started falling in. And through a hole in the roof, the paralysed man was lowered down. Perhaps they looked to make sure that all was well. Now Jesus saw that the men had great faith, and he said to the paralysed man, "Young man, your sins are forgiven." There were some teachers of the law sitting nearby, and they saw what Jesus did, and they said to themselves, "Why does this man say things like that? He is saying things that are against God. Only God can forgive sins." Now Jesus knew exactly what they were thinking. And he said, "Why are you thinking these things? Which is easier, to tell this paralysed man, 'Your sins are forgiven,' or to tell him, 'Stand up, take up your bed and walk'?" And Jesus said to them, "Now I will tell you that the Son of Man has all authority on earth to forgive sins." And so Jesus turned to the paralysed man and he said, "I tell you, stand up, take your bed and go home." And immediately the paralysed man stood up. He rolled up his bed and he walked off in front of everyone. The paralysed man was no longer a paralysed man, and as he walked home that day from the house, everyone was amazed and they all praised God. There we are. Snappy's tent is up again, and Teddy is fine. I'm sure nobody really worried about the hole in the roof, do you? After all, now we see 5 happy friends on their way home. The paralysed man has been healed. They have met Jesus. And I expect that they will talk about this day and will follow Jesus for the rest of their lives. So let's see our Bible people next time for another great Bible story.